And now, around the world and around the corner, it's the David Bowers Awards, bringing the best in indie music to millions of listeners worldwide with your host, the David Bowers. We've got a fantastic lineup of guests, our entire crew here at the Asylum, and me. I'm John Bon Jovial. And now, here's the voice of indie music, the David Bowers.
Thank you very much there, legendary John Bon Jovial. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard for another hour of the David Bowers Awards. We've got a great show lined up for you today, an exciting new talent that was referred to us by a previous exciting talent. We'll talk about her in a little bit. And we've also got Rockstar 101 coming up, a return engagement with Mr. Durell Peart, who has, I'm sure, some exciting words of wisdom for emerging artists, and we'll be talking with him in just a few minutes. John Bon Jovial, how are things in your corner of the world?
Pretty groovy. Got back from a nice vacation, first one in about 6 years. So, you know, when you get back from a vacation and you haven't taken one in a long time and you get back to your normal routine, there's like this feeling of, that comes over you. And that is exactly the way I'm feeling right now. A lot less stress in my life. It's just a good thing. Folks, you know, we're so workaday and we're so consumed by our jobs and our mission and all this. And that's not what it's all about. You got to take a break. I speak from personal experience. You have to take a break, even if it's only for a long weekend. You got to get away from the office. It really helps. Hey, I'm really excited about Durell Peart coming back on. He's always great to talk to. And
absolutely,
he has pearls
great
of
advice.
Wisdom that,
yes,
he really does. And so that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward today to hearing about, is to hear what's on his mind, the latest gimmicks, and I don't know, gimmicks the wrong word, but latest ideas that he has.
Tricks of the trade, yes. I know what you mean there, and yes, I'm looking forward to it too. And judging from some of the reactions that we've had in his previous appearance, we've got some listeners, some emerging talent that is looking forward to it too, because it's like I don't want to, give anybody the wrong idea, but it's kind of like free advice. It's like getting a class on how to make it in music and not having to pay for it. So don't tell him I said that. We want to say hello to our friends out there, including Steve Litvak and his Rock and Roll Rumble that follows the David Bowers Awards Saturdays on Rochester Free Radio. And after that, Armand Spins. Some great music between the two guys on a Saturday afternoon, and probably a lot of stuff that you may have missed, may never have heard before. Be sure and check it out. Rochester Free Radio, you'll find them online. And if you are fortunate enough to live in the beautiful city of Rochester, you can listen to them on your radio, for those of you who remember what a radio is. Our friends at Anchor FM have come up with a new first. They've made it possible for you to be a part of the David Bowers Awards. If you'd like to contribute to the support and underwriting of indie artists and music on our show, simply click the link at the end of the show on Anchor FM, and you'll be able to chip in whatever you feel is appropriate and it's comfortable. There's no restrictions. We're not out to, squeeze your purse or anything like that. But if you can and would like to help support our presentation in support of indie artists and music, there's a way to do it. Listen on Anchor FM and then click the link on the Anchor page. It's that simple, and it'll make you a part of the David Bowers Awards, supporting indie artists and music. John?
You just reminded me of something as far as the technological aspect of things, talking about Anchor FM. We here at the David Bowers Awards, have our own technology, and I am proud to say I don't know when it's going to be yet. So, maybe I'm just getting way ahead of myself. But TheDavidBowers.com is coming back, and it's going to be badass. It's going to be bigger and better than ever.
I am looking forward to it. Whoever is going to create it, and I don't know, you and our tech department kind of keep that separate from me, and really I don't need to know. As long as it works, I don't care. But for those of you who listen on Podchaser, that's one of our newer ads, you can now install Podchaser on your mobile or desktop. And the folks at Podchaser have made a big update to their progressive web app that unlocks cool new features like a standalone Podchaser app, Podchaser in your app drawer, and opening links in the Podchaser app, even installing Podchaser on your desktop. So check that out if you listen on Podchaser. Go to podchaser.com, click the install Podchaser link, and there you go. You got it.
There you
John?
go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, that's the nice thing about being on the air for as long as that we have been is we're getting more and more recognized, and some of these major organizations like the Podchaser folks and the Anchor FM folks are realizing the value of the David Bowers Awards, and so it's making a big, big difference here at the Radio Ranch. It really is, and we are grateful for them.
And speaking of which, we are also very grateful to our friends at the Hollywood Digest, who voted for the top web programs in the world. And we wound up in the top 75 web programs in the world. We're very, very proud of that. And we don't mind patting ourselves on the back and bragging a little. We also got a lot of music and stuff to do today. Durell Peart is standing by to talk to us about how to make it in the music industry. And we've got a track, our first track this week, because this is Halloween weekend. We have a Halloween music track. It's a little darker than what we usually play at the beginning of the show, and I think it's really appropriate. The gentleman's name is David Paul Zimmer, and this is called Drowning in the Darkness.
I can't hear you in the dark. Without your light, I come apart. A ceiling filled with endless skies. The corner's blacker than your eyes. Now I'm trapped here in this room. Pretend the truth just isn't true. I was swimming in your light. Now I'm drowning in the darkness without you. Touch the words you said. Then you vanished like a ghost. You were gone when I awoke. But there's nothing I can do, 'cause I'm drowning in the darkness without you. Oh, without you. Oh, drowning in the darkness without you. Messages unread. I lay silent in my bed, and now the light of day feels like a million miles away. I could breathe before I knew. Now I'm drowning in the darkness without you. Oh, without you. Oh, drowning in the darkness without you. Drowning in the darkness without you. Oh, drowning in the
Drowning in the Darkness, David Paul Zimmer, singer, songwriter, based in northern Florida, down near you there, John, on the other end of the state. He's up on the top end, and you're down on the bottom, but hey, same part of the world. He says his music is based on a life lived and loved across the southeastern United States. Worth checking him out. Check out the rest of his music, too. David Paul Zimmer, and he's also a producer in indie folk music. So a lot of stuff you can check out on David Paul Zimmer. Also, a lot of stuff you can check out with our next guest who's standing by right now. We're going to bring him on in here to talk to us about what it takes to make it in today's music world. So welcome, if you would, please, ladies and gentlemen, our first guest, Mr. Durell Peart. Welcome back, Durell.
Hey there, how you doing, man? How you guys doing? Thank you for having me again.
Doing very well, thank you, and so glad to have you back here with us. What do you got for us to talk about today, Durell?
It's interesting that you guys say that, right? So let me guys tell you about a real life situation that is happening as of last night, right? I have a client, right? We won't name them, but I have a new client process when it comes to breaking into today's business. Like, education is very, very important. Okay. The product is important, but education is even more important. So, when you work with me, it's like going to school. It's like classroom. Like, I make people do the work because it's the only way you're going to see success is if you do the work. So this client is the only client that I've ever had that told me that my work was tedious and that she didn't want to do it, right? So what she asked me was, I want a real producer and not a beat maker. So, okay, you don't want to go through my process. You say it's tedious. So, okay, let me go into my relationships that I have. So I go to a real producer, okay, Grammy-nominated producer, work with legends in this business. And I told her to work with him, it's going to cost about $4,000 or so. And she about threw a hissy fit. Oh, my gosh, I can't believe it. I said, look, if you want to work with real professionals in this business, it's going to cost that kind of money. You cannot go to a real producer who actually does this professionally and say to them, I want you to work with me, and I don't want you to work with me for basically next to other because I have no money. And then I want what she called on-the-job training. I said, hold on, the only thing like is on-the-job training in our industry is called an internship. And you're a little too old for an internship. So, and guys, I'm very, very, very ethical and moral how I do business, okay? I don't even feel comfortable continuing to work with this person because I don't think I can help her. And it's very rare that I say that about people because it's very rare that you ever hear me say, I don't think I can help you. But right. for you to not even take my training sessions because she's older, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a new industry now. Okay, nobody's coming to help you. You have to figure it out yourself. If you don't willing to take the education, when somebody's giving it to you at the rate that I'm doing it, and when you think that you need to go to the studio and you don't want to do any work, and even, it gets even better, guys. She's wanting to see results in the third session that we've been working together.
Oh, boy.
It's like going to the gym and telling the trainer, it's session number 3. Why haven't I lost 25 pounds?
Yeah, why am I not buff? Right.
I said, you got to be kidding me. And then when I go to a real professional producer and tell her what the number is, she thought that I'm crazy for that. She said, well, $12,000, that's a person's yearly salary. I said, $12,000 in the music business ain't nothing.
Okay, Durell, you just touched on something